I 28 meters messed up by asking my girlfriend 26F to stop talking about her late boyfriend. Her college boyfriend passed away in an accident 5 years ago. I 28 meters understand that he will always be part of her 26F life and she will always love him. Her grief and trauma and how she dealt with losing her boyfriend is a part of who she is as a person. We have been dating for 2 years. The problem is that she brings him into our relationship. Every time I make a mistake or get hurt, she always brings up how he used to treat her and how I should try to be more like him. She doesn't do it in an accusatory way, but it still kinda stings. It has been getting to me. Yesterday, I got news that I received the promotion I had been vying for. I was not very hopeful about getting it. It was a position which had many candidates from all different departments. We celebrated a little. We started to talking about how we could do all the things we had planned for. In the middle of the conversation, I joked about being too anxious about these things. She responded by saying that her boyfriend had always been so calm and collected, very chill about everything. He could just shrug off anything. I'm exactly the opposite. I'm anxious and a person who worries a lot. I don't know why, but it hurt me a lot. I asked her to stop talking about him. She looked offended but didn't respond, and I just ruined the night. We sat there for a few minutes before she decided to clean up and go to bed early. I feel like I'm being compared against someone I will never match up to. I know that he is very important to her, but can't she cherish him without making me feel like shit? She has been distant today. I know she is hurt. She has barely spoken to me today. I feel I should have just ignored her comments and rolled with it. My message and delivery were all wrong. I feel guilty about hurting her. I should have done a better job of being sensitive about this and brought it up when she was celebrating. I want to sort this out and have a productive conversation with her so that we can deal with this issue. How need some help going about that. Too long didn't read girlfriend compares me to her later boyfriend. It has been getting to me and I didn't approach issue in the right way and now things are a bit awkward. I don't think you're in the wrong here. Yes, you could have been more sensitive about it, which you acknowledge and should apologize for, but I really don't think you're in the wrong. You're being held to an impossible standard and that's 100% unfair to you. You can't even celebrate your own accomplishments without her trying to make it all about him. It sucks that it came to a head like this, but use this as a chance to finally address this issue. It's often very hard to say things calmly or reasonably. When you are hurt or angry, you don't say. If you have talked to her about the issue, you really should. She hasn't moved past her late BF. People only remember the good stuff when people die, never the bad stuff. You can never be his equal, because he is dead. He can't screw up. It is not fair for her to compare the two of you. You need to tell her how it makes you feel. She is free to remember him in her mind, but not in yours. Like the others. It's not weird that you feel like this. Comparing your current partner to an ex like that is not okay, even if he's dead. Yeah, you could have worded that better, but that doesn't mean you're wrong. But rather than her just stop talking about her dead partner, she probably needs counseling. But honestly, you don't have to be there for it. You deserve a partner who appreciates you and don't compare you to others. She might be a good person, but she hasn't been a good partner to you. I don't think she's ready for a relationship with another person. Even if this guy was alive, she should not be comparing you to him. To compare you to a dead person, who was likely not as perfect as she makes him out to be, is completely out of bounds. It sounds like part of her never dealt with the grief of losing him and she idolizes this dead lover. I'm sure he had his faults too. A productive conversation starts with her agreeing to stop using him as a comparison. Whether you want her to be introspective about her feelings for this late boyfriend or not will be up to you. There are 3 people in this relationship. OP. But only you get to decide if you are willing to be part of that. She is not ready to move on. I'm sorry, but she isn't. Her comparing the two of you out loud to your face during a normal conversation is a very big red flag. I hope she is in therapy, because she needs it badly if she feels the need to bring him up so often. I get that she is grieving, but she is so focused on her love and admiration for him. She isn't focusing on developing a relationship with you. You talking about being stressed was absolutely an inappropriate time to float about what a wonderful personality her ex had. She has issues and she needs to resolve them, because the vast majority of people would not tolerate constantly living in the shadow of an ex. Nope, you did nothing wrong. She should not be bringing him up so much and absolutely should not be comparing you. She needs to get into therapy to resolve her feelings on this. She will never be able to move forward how you are. She ruined the evening bringing him up. You will never measure up and that's an issue. She needs to let go and accept he gone and not coming back. If she wants to be with you, she has to actually be with you. She has fond memories of him and that's okay, but constantly bringing him up is not. It's not as though she is just talking about him. She's using him as a means to put you down. Something that is never okay, whether he is dead or alive. You need to enforce your boundaries, and whilst it's not the case that she should never mention him or forget about him, she needs to stop putting you down or comparing you unfavorably to him. You have not messed up. Don't apologize for her bad actions. You'll only end up validating her if you do. I think you are right and she's wrong. Her bringing up an old BF from years ago is just plain mean and hurtful. Why would comparing you to anyone ever be the correct thing for her to do? Personally, if she can't be with you and wants to compare you to a fantasy, then you are better off without her. She needs to apologize to you, not vice versa. My advice: don't run after her. Let her apologize and come to you. She needs some grief counseling for closure she's never had. She's not in the wrong for missing him or talking about him, but she is in the wrong for constantly comparing your relationship against his and you and him as people. It is totally fine for you to put these boundaries up, but it sounds like she won't respond well since she's not processed these things like she should have. Oh my god, OP, I wish I could give you a hug because you genuinely seem like a good person. I'm a highly anxious person too, and my BF is not. He would never try and mold me into something I'm not. She's lacking understanding and honestly has not processed her grief. Her comparing him to you is making you feel lesser as a person, and that's totally unfair. You need to have a conversation with her and push her to get therapy to deal with her grief. If things don't improve, I'm afraid you've got to let her go. You deserve to feel utmost love in your relationship without her deceased ex hanging over you. You didn't mess up. She did. I would apologize about the way it came out, but make it clear you're not sorry about the content of what was said, and you need to have a discussion. Boundary time. Absolutely no comparisons. That's literally cruel. If she makes any excuses, then she's simply not far along enough in her grieving to be with you. It sucks, but as much as it will always be a part of her, she needs to learn to live in a healthier way. But you should mention times you are okay with him being brought up ex. If we are at a place that reminds you of him, that's a reasonable time to make a comment. This is really up to her if she is able to meet your needs with her current mental health, but there's no way you could continue with the way it's going. Your only screw up, if you can call it that, was to address it during an already emotional moment. This should have been a planned conversation. The dead guy is on a pedestal. This happens when people die, especially young and in traumatic circumstances. He wasn't, of course, this perfect human being in life, but he is in death. And it's a horrible thing that your GF is doing, negatively comparing you to this perfect phantom every time you're a little bit down. She is probably not doing it on purpose to make you feel bad, but her intent doesn't matter that much. It's corrosive to your relationship, and she has to stop. It's very easy when someone is gone to only see the good, for everything to have been perfect, and to wash away the negative. It creates an unrealistic expectation on anyone who comes after. I say this as someone who was in her position, and I know it hurt my relationship. She probably needs therapy, but I'm not sure there is a right way to tell her that. Your best bet right now is probably pure honesty. You love her, that you're sorry that you hurt her, but you need her to love you for who you are, and it feels like you're in a competition with him. No accusations, I feel this, not you're doing this. Assure her that you love her, and that you're there for her. Thanks for watching. Consider subscribing for more videos.